All right, ladies and gentlemen. I'm finally reading the Dragon Ball chapter on the day it comes out, and I'm not distracted by a whole bunch of other things like last time. So let's go ahead and get this shindig started, shall we? Yo, peoples! Kyushu92 here, and welcome back to yet another Dragon Ball Super chapter reaction and review. We're still continuing with the Dragon Ball Super superhero movie adaptation for the chapters. I'm not even going to go on a tangent of why I still am not a fan of how they adapted superhero movie and not Broly or Resurrection of F. I'm not even going to go down that road, so it's just, we're almost there. We are almost there. We are almost there where we can get out of the superhero movie arc and then move into the new arc for Dragon Ball. Wish I had my One Piece set. It took me a while to get every single volume of One Piece. It took me a hot minute. It took me ordering volumes online, like a whole bunch of volumes online, going out and buying them physically. So it took a while, but I'm grateful to have it. Having the entire story of One Piece. It's amazing. But Arcade, yeah, Arcade, that's how you say it. I had a brain freeze moment on how to say your name, but yeah, good to see you, Arcade, good to see you, Holster. Let's go ahead and get started with chapter 97. Ain't it funny how Dragon Ball Super has been out for a long time and still hasn't reached 100 chapters yet? Dragon Ball Super's been out for a hot minute and we're not at 100 chapters yet. Interesting. Last we left out on, though, however, is Cell Max has been fully awakened because of Magenta before, he succumbed to the poison of Hachimaru. I think that Hornet from Dr. Hedo, I think that's what the bee's name is, the wasp's name is. He got poisoned, but not before he let Cell Max out. And now Cell Max is fighting basically everyone, with Trunks and Goten flying towards Cell Max because they see this as their opportunity to go all superhero now. So it begins with Trunks and Goten flying past Gamma 1 and 2, and they both, and much to Gamma 1 and 2's surprise. And if you guys want to see what I'm seeing, either go to Viz or go to another site of your choice in order to see what I'm seeing. I can't show it because of copyright reasons, and I would rather not have another strike on my channel. Literally just got done with another one back in February, so I just wanted to let you guys know. But they fly towards Cell Max and Trunks goes, "Up, cycle! Double punch!" goes Trunks and Goten, and they try to hit Cell Max, but Cell Max uses his club tail to just swat away the both of them instantly, knocking both of their helmets off. And Krillin is surprised, Gohan is looking confused, and Piccolo's just looking frustrated. But then we get Trunks and Goten going, "Ow! Ugh." And then we have Bulma going, "Uh-huh, thought so."
Have they been doing any training at all?
They were grounded for over half a year, so no.
What you mean they were grounded for over half a year? Y'all really believe in grounding folks for over 6 months? Where they can't train? I've never been... Okay, the longest I've been grounded was, like... I want to say... Well, we called it being on punishment. But longest I can remember was, like, almost a month? It's so far back I can barely remember. But being grounded for half a year? Are you kidding?
They were grounded for over half a year, so no.
Great. We've got no choice but to rejoin the fight. I should have one more sensu bean in here.
And then it has Trunks getting up going,
"Relax, Piccolo. It's all good. Heck, we haven't even gone Super Saiyan yet. You two sit back and recover some more, okay? We'll keep the big guy occupied in the meantime."
And both no one really believes the words of Trunks as Piccolo's going,
Are they really up for this? I have doubts.
They know how to step up when duty calls. I say we give the boys a shot.
and this is Krillin.
Says the guy who doesn't want to fight.
Who, me? Nah, that's not it.
And it has Gamma 1 and 2 just opening fire on Cell Max. And they're just flying all around it like flies, and they're keeping it occupied. And then Gamma 1 lands right next to Trunks and Goten.
Hey, Gamma Guy, that big bruiser just woke up, right? It kind of feels like he's not used to moving that body around.
You're not wrong. Cell Max hasn't quite figured out the best way to wield his power, which makes this moment our best chance to bring him down. And then Cell Max swats away Gamma 2, which causes Gamma 1 to retaliate and fly towards him.
Now it's our turn,
Goes Trunks as he goes Super Saiyan along with Goten, and they both fly towards Cell Max. And Cell Max sees them and tries to swat him away, but with their Super Saiyan power-ups, they weave around his arm. And then Trunks lands on the arm of Cell Max, launches towards him, and lands a solid hit on Cell Max's face. Then flips over to the backside of Cell Max's head and uses his head to jump kick off of him, causing Cell Max to kind of lurch forward just a little bit. And then it shows Goten above Cell Max, charging up, and just lets off a regular, like a charged up ki blast towards Cell Max's face, causing Cell Max to hit the ground. Those two aren't half bad, goes Gamma 1, and while Goten and Trunks are still in Super Saiyan form, they start flying all around. Cell Max, and they fly underneath his legs to Cell Max's backside, and then let out a blast that hits him right into his backside, causing Cell Max to fall over. And Gamma 2 goes,
Oh, sick move.
Say, number 2, don't they resemble us in a way?
Yeah, that red cape's the spitting image of yours.
Do you remember what Dr. Hedo said about how when he was building us, he based our designs off of a pair of super cool heroes who happened to be his enemies at the time?
Sure. It's all coming together. And that's when Gamma 1 and 2 realize that they've essentially been patterned off of Goten and Trunks.
Come on, let's finish this guy off ourselves.
Yeah! And then Gamma 1 and 2 land behind Trunks and Goten.
Saiyaman, we're here to assist.
And he gets smiles from the two boys.
Saiyaman, X1.
X2!
Gamma 1.
And number 2! Move out! And they both just strike poses like they're part of the Ginyu Force. Tally ho! They really say tally ho. They really say tally ho. Tally ho! And they start flying towards Cell Max. And they get closer and closer.
Cyclone style, tornado, super hurricane!
And Trunks, Goten, Gamma 1 and 2 all create this massive concussive kinetic aura that just goes spiraling towards Cell Max and hits it directly in the chest, causing it to fly backwards a good distance and topple over itself and hit the outer side of the crater where the Red Ribbon Army base is. And they're cheering.
Oh yeah!
Look at him go!
Despite the childish antics, they've managed to really buy it some time. Well, go on. Feeling fit to fight again?
Sure, enough to turn Super Saiyan anyway. And then as the dust settles, we see the face of Cell Max, and it just lets out a loud and then just a beam just shoots up in the air like it's powering up. And as that happens, it starts to stare at everybody, and Krillin notices, and Trunks notices as well.
For real? That didn't do a thing?
And then Cell Max takes a stance, and then with speed so fast that no one can perceive it, it speeds towards Trunks and his whole squad there, and is already behind them before they can even react. And before anyone can do anything, Cell Max hits Trunks in the back. And sends him flying, and hits Trunks hard enough to knock him out of Super Saiyan form. And then we have Gamma 2 going, "Oh no!" And then Gamma 2 gets knocked away, and so does Gamma 1. And the only person left is Goten, who gets slapped by Cell Max's tail. Goten!
How in the world?
It's like Cell Max changed up its moves.
And then Cell Max continues to go after the androids and Goten. And it takes its palm and then slams both Gamma 1 and 2 away. And then I think this is Trunks saying this. "That monster! We weren't seeing that kind of speed a moment ago."
His power keeps building. I think he's getting used to fighting. Fantastic.
Yikes. Better whip out our last resort,
goes Trunks.
Get ready for fusion, Goten.
Huh? Fusion, huh? I hope I remember how.
Fusion! Ha!
And both Trunks and Goten do the fusion dance, but we all know that it has to be perfect. And while the bottom fingers are perfect, the top fingers kind of go beside each other. And unsurprisingly, they messed up the fusion dance, and they are now Fat Fusion.
Gah! Flubbed it!
Huh?
Super Saiyan! Ha!
And there nothing happens.
Crap! Even so, better let him have it!
And then Fat Fusion, I'm just gonna call it Fat Fusion. Fat Fusion flies towards Cell Max and unsurprisingly gets swatted away.
Ow! That smarts!
What are those numbskulls doing? We're out of time. Come on, Gohan.
Right. Watch after Pan, Bulma.
You got it.
And then Gohan powers up and so does Piccolo. And then 18 is going, fine. Here I go if I must. And she flies after Gohan and Piccolo in order to join in the fight.
Go team! I'll be here protecting Bulma and Pan.
Finally found yourself a task, did ya?
Because, Krillin don't want to mess with Cell or anything related to Cell. Then Gohan gets closer. Gohan gets closer to Cell Max. It roars at him, but it doesn't have long before it doesn't get to enjoy roaring because Piccolo is already behind Cell Max, drop kicking the base of his skull.
Take this,
goes Android 18 as she starts blasting Cell Max in the back.
Ha! Me!
Ha! And Gohan just lets out a Kame Blast towards Cell Max, who bats it away. He just bats it away and lands on the ground right in front of Gohan, much to his surprise. And then it just starts slamming the ground, but the force of it slamming the ground causes a crater to appear. That's how great Cell Max's strength is right now. And both Piccolo and 18 kind of have to shield themselves from the shockwave of Cell Max just slamming the ground. That's how great it is. And Fat Fusion Gotenks is holding on for dear life. Everyone is bracing themselves because that's how concussive the shockwave was.
Darn it!
Aim for the top of his head, goes Gamma 1 to Gohan.
Why there? It's his only weak point. Dr. Hedo made sure Cell Max had a weakness just in case it came to this.
Really? But be warned, the moment anyone nails that weak point, it'll trigger a massive explosion that obliterates every last one of Cell Max's cells. And then some. Whoever does it won't survive. And then both Gamma 1 and Gamma 2 start going towards Cell Max and aiming for the weak spot. And they both start shooting at it, but Cell Max starts protecting itself immediately. Aim for the head, everyone, goes Piccolo, and everyone just starts blasting where Cell Max is, and Cell Max just starts running away. It's not flying, it starts running away from getting shot, and it tries to launch at Piccolo, Gotenks, and 18. Well, Piccolo, Gotenks, and Gohan. And they move out of the way, but Gotenks isn't exactly lucky and almost gets hit.
Yikes, he's quick.
Hitting the head's a big task when the big guy won't sit still.
Yeah, I better help out.
Goes Krillin.
This isn't working, goes Gamma 2. He needs to be held in place. I'll distract him, goes Gamma 1. And you blast him with max power.
Got it. And he loads his gun. And Gamma 1 is right there behind Cell Max. Blasts him in the face to distract him.
Come and get me, Cell Max.
And Cell Max just goes after him. And while that's going on, Gamma 1 dodges away from Cell Max and blasts him directly in the face with a big, bright blast. And it just envelops. It's not Gamma 1. It's not Gamma 1. A giant blast is building up behind Gamma 1 because it's Gamma 2. Sorry, I misread that. I went ahead too fast. It's Gamma 2 who's building up the blast, while Gamma 1 gets out of the way, and it's point blank. It's like point blank in front of Cell Max's face. Chew on this! And Cell Max gets hit and engulfed in this blast so bright that it lights up the whole area. Now, as Piccolo is right behind Cell Max, and he immediately blasts him in the head.
I've got this.
And blasts him in the head, and Cell Max feels it. Sweet!
They did it!
Goes Pan.
Pan, wait! Don't run off!
And it shows crack marks. It shows like the area where Cell Max has been hit, but apparently it doesn't have a scratch on it.
What the? Not a dent?
And then Cell Max gets angrier and angrier. And the spots all over its body, you know, the trademark spots you would see on Cell, the spots all over his body just completely start to light up. Akin to that of Godzilla when he's about to use atomic breath, the parts of him start to highlight and start to glow from within. That's exactly what happens with Cell Max, where every single part of him that is essential, pretty much all over his body, he starts to shoot out lasers from every spot all over his body, from the holes in his tail, the spots over his head, and through his fingers. It just lets out a massive torrent of lasers all over. Whoa! There's some movies packing! And everyone is dodging away. And then it shows Pan, indirect path of where these lasers are firing. As Bulma goes,
Get back here, Pan!
And Pan almost gets hit with a couple of these lasers.
Get into the air, Pan!
But I can't fly yet!
And then Krillin runs over and grabs Pan and gets her right back to Bulma. Just in time for a blast to hit right next to him, and Krillin has to shield them.
Whew, close call there.
Thanks for the save. Maybe I should fire up the ship so we can hightail it out of here if necessary, you know?
And then we have Piccolo, Gohan, Gamma 1 and 2 hiding while apparently Cell Max is still powering up.
Well, that didn't work. We need to hit him harder.
Well, this is Gohan. Well, that didn't work. We need to hit him harder. After thinking it over, yeah, there's only one option here.
You mean, no, not that.
And Gamma 1 is protesting to whatever Gamma 2 has in mind.
Don't even try it. I should join you at least.
Nope, you already got a job to save Dr. Hedo.
Wait, what?
Take a peep with your bioform scope. He's not dead.
Do you mean it?
Beep, 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 beep.
And it shows the vital signs of Dr. Hedo. He's still very much alive. You ought to be more observant, number 1. And that's the end of Chapter 97 of Dragon Ball Super. So let's see what you guys have said. Unless they decide to do Dragon Ball Super Superheroes arc all over again for no reason. Halster, no. No. Don't speak such blasphemy. Don't, no, that's blasphemy. Please don't do that. The real question, will Gohan Beast be the warrior the Oracle Fish was talking about? I don't know. We'll figure that out once we get to that point. This gives you Chi-Chi vibes, and it's worse that it's more than half a year. Like, how long has it been, and what did they even do to get grounded that long? Slamming your head on your desk right now. You hate this part so much. Look, it's no secret that I have never been a fan of them adapting superhero movie. Superhero into an arc where we only get like flashback one-panel mentions of Broly and Resurrection of F. It's no secret that I'm not a big fan of that. So the closer we get to the end, I'm looking forward to more chapters of superhero, because with every new chapter we have of the superhero adaptation, we get to the end. And that's what I'm really looking forward to. I'm enjoying these chapters for what they are. I already know what's going to happen, though there are some more things being spoken here and more lines being spoken than there were inside of the superhero movie as well. So, they're kind of, expositing a little bit more than the movie did with some extra lines here and there. But I am looking forward to when this arc is over so we can actually move on to something new. I'm just saying, it's like I said, it's no secret that I'm not a fan of how they adapted this movie out of all movies into a full-on arc, and we don't get any others like that. I'm just looking forward to the end of this, so that way we can move on to what are Goku and Vegeta doing? What's Frieza doing? Who's doing what in the world of Dragon Ball outside of this movie adaptation? That's what I'm looking forward to. So every single chapter we get is putting us closer. And since we know how this story ends, for those of us who have seen the movie, it's just getting closer and closer and closer to that point where the superhero movie arc ends. And I'm actually looking forward to it. Slamming your head at the Saiyaman part. So do you mean the point where Gamma 1 and 2 were inspired by Saiyaman? Or just the fact that they're there? Don't know if I'm the only one, but you never liked the Saiyaman stuff from Gohan doing it to now? Oh, so you weren't a fan of the Great Saiyaman back when it first showed up for Gohan. So you weren't a fan of it then? And then for them to repeat it again with Goten and Trunks? I can understand. Hopefully, this will be the end of the Saiyaman stuff once we are done with this arc, and we could just focus on Goku and Vegeta and Broly and everything else that they got going on. Not saying that this arc is bad, but there are other arcs. Not saying that this arc is bad, because I don't think it's bad. It's just that I just find it weird that of all the movies to get adapted officially in the canon, this is the one that gets tens of chapters on. So that's just my opinion. I'm pretty sure there are others who like this arc as well. Hey, that's your prerogative, but for me, I can't wait for this arc to end. I cannot wait for the Cell Max and Red Ribbon Army revival arc to end. I can't wait for it to end so we can move on to something actually new. So, yeah. Now, while I did like this chapter, I'm not going to say I just massively enjoyed this chapter, because I already knew what was going to happen. This arc isn't bad, it's just that we've seen it all, and it's like, why this movie? Exactly, Halster. That's my whole mindset. Like, we've seen this before. And why, of all movies, to get adapted to have its own series, have its own saga, have its own arc, does this movie get it? When the other ones are just equally as important. Literally the revival of Frieza. The first time in the first showing of Gold Frieza. That's important. Then Broly. You know, the reveal of the legendary Super Saiyan in official canon. But that's 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 downsized to like a flashback panel. But superhero movie gets a whole arc. I feel like I bring this up every single time I read one of these new chapters. I apologize. I'm droning on, I'm monologuing. But it's not a bad chapter, and this isn't a bad arc. Just confused as why out of all the choices that they had, this one particular movie got one. So the sooner we get done with this arc, the better. That's just all I'm saying. It wasn't a movie beforehand. If this wasn't a movie beforehand, this arc, if it wasn't a movie beforehand, this arc would be amazing. It would be amazing. But we've already seen it before, so our suspension of disbelief is a little less than normal. That's just me, but I like the chapter, but I like it because it means we're one step closer for this arc ending. Which I don't think I have ever said for any arc in Dragon Ball Super ever since I started reading it. So the sooner we get done with this arc, the better. I'm just saying. Yeah. But I enjoyed it, and I hope you guys enjoyed my reaction as well. Happy that I was able to get a Dragon Ball Super reaction on the day the chapters release. And I hope all I can say to any of you at the end of the day is, firstly, thank you for the continued support of this channel. Everything you do for me, I greatly appreciate it. Whether it's likes or subscribing or even sharing what I do, down to, supporting the channel through super chats and super thanks and memberships and whatever. I just want to say thank you for everything that you do for me. You make this dream job of mine worthwhile and worth waking up to do. So hope you all enjoyed. Can't wait to see you all in my next video. And if you enjoyed what you saw here today and you haven't done these things already, then like, subscribe, and share this video with everyone you know, because the more the merrier. And because I am always looking forward to entertaining you. So have a fantastic day, and once again, as always, later peoples!